All right, friends, it's T-Man. We're back with a new video. It's gregdoucette, man. We're going to react to his video. The gym, lifting, recruiting, fitness, gear slave says himself, gregdoucette, weird elitism. Sam Sulek calls out science-based lifters.
A lot of the idea behind it, and it's kind of its own subculture, is it's very like it's a weird elitism.
That. Science. I'd rather go fucking hard.
The convincing point is that if you do it just like how we're saying to do it, we can guarantee that it will work for you.
The problem with science-based lifting is that it's based on science. I know that sounds ironic because it is, but here lies the problem. When you do a scientific...
It's mostly like people doing stuff that they're unaccustomed to doing. Everybody knows in science, everybody knows in the lifting world, unfamiliar, unaccustomed, untrained muscles get this damage. And when you get that damage, it goes through a remodeling stage and it get bigger and stronger. Myofibular growth, hypertrophy, myofibular, yes.
Experiment. You get like 100 people, okay? Yeah. And you all have them train said way in comparison to this way.
Yeah.
And then the research says this way was 5% better than that way. Stay with me. That
5% better than that way? They're getting paid to do these things. They don't care. They just pick a body part or something and they go, look what we got here when we did this and look what we got here when we did that. It's kind of obvious. They already knew what the outcome was. If the muscle was unaccustomed to doing that exercise, well, guess what? It's going to get some remodeling for sure in the beginning. Everything works in the beginning until it stops working. That's why when you see these science-based studies, they're short because everything works and then it stops working. This group got this group got that. They got very little, they got more, blah, blah, blah. But then it stops working. Then they have to do another scientific study on something else that will get it to start working. Why? Because in the bodybuilding world, only unaccustomed, unfamiliar forms and untrained muscles get this damage. Get it, bro? Adapted muscles do not get that damage, so they don't go through a remodeling, a growth period. Now, if it's sarcoplasmic, that's totally different. They tell you what sarcoplasmic is. It's due to high volume training. People that train high volume coming into the high volume means people that train often in a gym. That's high volume. Their muscles are attributed to sarcoplasmic hypertrophy, the majority of it, yes.
Proves that this way is better than that way. It proves that it's better for most people. The problem is some people benefit.
No, it's proven that it's good for all people because, because they based it on unaccustomed, unfamiliar, untrained muscles.
More by 30 than from 10. That is the premise of science-based lifting. On statistical averages, how many people in those studies do you think are genetic phenoms? Do they have polymorphisms? Are they on performance-enhancing drugs? The problem is you, as an individual, are not an average. And so if the science says that you need to do 10 to 20 sets per body part per week in order to build muscle most effectively, what about if you're that rare guy that only needs 4 sets? Maybe you're me.
4 sets to build muscle? I don't know what that means, to build muscle. Well, what if you're that rare guy that needs 4 sets? Sets don't build muscles. You mean, are you that rare guy that only needs 4 sets to cause damage to muscles and then they could go through repair and remodeling? Or 4 sets, you're getting sarcoplasmic hypertrophy. You're pump training because depending on how much glycogen you're eating, I don't know. Are they all eating the same amount of glycogen to get this sarcoplasm to expand? Are they all in positive nitrogen balance to grow myofibular growth? Or are they negative nitrogen balance? Who the fuck knows? Are you the rare guy that's in that you're always in positive nitrogen balance, that you only need 4 sets of damage so you could grow myofibular growth? Because the other people are in negative nitrogen balance because they're eating slave food diet, anti-nutrients, which causes you to still be in negative nitrogen balance regardless of how much you're eating and you're cooking the shit out of it. So you see what I mean? You see how stupid this really sounds? You have to be stupid not to... A lot of people are stupid. They don't understand bodybuilding, what bodybuilding is.
I used to train, and in my opinion, it was science-based lifting. I was doing
It was science-based lifting. I know. That's why he's marketing turkesterone to you. Do you think turkesterone builds muscles? It says positive nitrogen balance builds muscles. Got to be a positive nitrogen balance to build muscles, and you need a relative amount of micro damage to build real muscle, like myofibrillar growth. What's turkesterone going to do? Maybe draw more glycogen in the muscle, giving you some artificial muscle growth. I don't know. It's a possibility if you're a lifting slave coming in often. I don't know what the fuck you're doing there. Myofibrillar growth is based on periodic lifting and positive nitrogen balance. Now, sarcoplasmic is based on high volume training. People come in often, pump training, and carbohydrates. So if you take turkesterone, what will it do if you come in for high volume training? And what will it do if you're coming in periodically for trying to get myofibrillar growth? What will it do? Did he actually put it to the test? Does he have groups that did that? No, there's no groups that have taken turkesterone literally, did sarcoplasmic high volume or myofibrillar growth periodic lifting. See the difference, man? This is bullshit.
a lot of volume. I was doing setup.
It doesn't do anything. You're just wasting your time. Anyways, whatever, doing that turkesterone shit.
After set, I was doing training 6 days a week, each body part twice a week.
See, he trained 6 days a week. That's high volume training. So you think you could build myofibrillar growth training 6 days a week in a gym every single day? This is stupid. Myofibrillar growth is built through micro damage. You're not going to micro damage your muscles every single day. You'd fucking get rhabdo and die. This is just ridiculous. This is stupid. And you'd kill those muscle fibers once they got damaged. They would die if you lived through them being damaged, if you keep pulling on them.
Thought I was doing good. I mean, look at me. I'm an IFBB pro.
Thought you're taking steroids. He's faking it, man. It's cosmetic.
Oh, but then I start doing bike racing.
Yeah, okay.
That's a lot of cardio, and I'm thinking, you know what? I can't
More deterioration. You're deteriorating faster than you're aging. That's why you're taking the steroids. They're like kind of wearing off this deterioration by recycling these fucking proteins, which is a bad thing, actually. That's why you look so much older on steroids. Recycling these proteins, the sarcoplasmic, expanding the sarcoplasm, giving you this artificial look, this byproduct that you say that you got muscles or something, but some bullshit.
lift as many. That's a lot of cardio, and I'm thinking, you know what?
Yeah.
I can't lift as many sets. They can't do as much volume. How could I do that? I can't. And so I'm going to sacrifice perhaps 10 pounds of muscle in order to get more bike riding in. And I'm just going to train fewer sets. I'm going to do the minimum, half of what's recommended. Science-based training says that I train like a moron. I train 2 days a week. You find me the study that says that training twice a week while doing 7 hours of cardio a week, hard cardio for the most part, is ideal for putting on muscle. There is no study. Now, granted, I'm on the snake oil. I mean, that's probably making a difference.
Here we go.
It's not possible. Of course it is. But do you think that there's a study that's going to show that I should only do, for example, 3 or 4 hard sets of chest a week? If I did 10 or 20 sets of chest a week.
Why do you have to do it so many times a week? To expand the sarcoplasm? Non-contractile proteins? Okay.
I would get smaller. I can't do it. How do I know? Because I tried it. Year and a half.
He would get smaller. If you're not eating, you get smaller, yeah. Not enough carbs, I don't know.
Ago, I was 180.6 pounds. Today, I was 190.2. Do I look like I got fat? I gained over 9 pounds since then. And so science says that what I'm doing is not possible, but yet here I am. And how would you know if you only go by science-based lifting and you don't experiment? And so what Sam is saying, because Sam...
You don't experiment, go by science-based lifting. Okay, yeah.
This very smart individual is that you need to experiment and see what works.
There's a lot of experimenting on him. Look at his face, man. It's destroyed. Look at his nose. He's got like a reindeer nose. He's completely destroyed.
It's
himself.
best for you. And gone are the days where guys would just go into the gym, do 5 sets of 5. Perhaps they would do a lot of volume. Maybe they do 1 set. What about that? In comparison, what about bro that does 30 sets? Even Mike Israel, maybe if he does 20 sets of...
None of these things are going to make these people good looking. They're just going to get more ugly. Their faces, they get old because it's not regenerative what they're doing.
incline dumbbell curls, maybe for him, that is ideal.
Look at these guys' faces. Look at their pumpkin heads. They look the same, like Blaha. All of them look the same. It's the Blaha syndrome. We should call this the Jason Blaha syndrome. Look at their heads. Look at Mike. Look at his partner over there. Look at Jeff. He's got a pumpkin head too. They all have pumpkin heads. They look deteriorated. They just have this round pumpkin head. This is not attractive, bro. This is not attractive.
Maybe some people love pushing themselves hard. So hard. And speaking of hard, if you want to...
That's like Goggins, right? He pushes himself hard, like this, right? It's like this guy, David Goggins.
And so many people just want it the easy way. I'm sorry, man. It's not. Yeah. So what they start to do is they build this narrative of it's okay. When the narrative should be, you need to fucking work harder. You need to fucking discipline your mind better.
Sure you do.
So every day you should be getting after it. We look at determination, self-discipline. We look at hard work. All these terms is almost like we dread them. Almost like a fucking punishment. In life, a lot of us work our fucking ass off.
Sure it is. Yeah.
Trying to get to a better place. A place that makes us feel better about ourselves. A place that makes us feel better about...
A place that makes us feel better about ourselves. It's never gonna happen. It will never work. Yes.
Ourselves.
None of these PSL gods work out. None of them. Look at them. And they're enjoying life. And you're going to get people like, what's his name? Aged face over there, gregdoucette, tell you otherwise. But hey, I digress. You got to work harder.
Satisfy someone. Make sure you get harder than last time for those intimate nights. And so...
Yeah, you need all these things for those intimate nights, this and that, because, of course, after all that stress you put your body through, it can't perform. You can't even get a hard on.
Well, I personally love going hard. David Goggins.
David Goggins loves going hard. What I just played for you.
Loves it too.
Just gotta stay hard, brother.
And so when you tell me...
Yeah, David Goggins. Yes, push you hard, brother.
that zone 2 cardio, 10 hours a week on the bike at a heart rate of 120 is like...
Zone 2 deteriorate faster than you can regenerate. Yes, Greg.
Deal. It's going to improve my endurance capacity and all this kind of stuff.
Sure,
I'm thinking, that sounds really boring. Science-based says it's ideal. I like racing. I like going hard. And so if science says that I should keep one...
See, he likes going hard. He likes deteriorating faster than he's aging. But steroids are wasting drugs, people. The only difference with Greg is it's kind of wearing it off because it's recycling these proteins. But that is a bad thing over time. If he was to go off these steroids right now, completely go off, he would fucking deteriorate to the point I think you people would be in disgust.
1 to 3 reps in reserve and do 20 sets of volume for my chest.
Oh, yeah.
Each and every week, split out into 2 workouts.
Yeah.
I'm thinking that.
And why do you need to do this? Do you need to do this forever and ever and ever? I guess it takes forever to build muscle. I don't know. Forever and ever and ever and ever. Look at this guy's face. He doesn't give a shit about you.
Science. I'd rather go fucking hard. Harder than last time. You've seen me.
Yeah, I'd rather go harder than last time. If I'm losing all the time, I'll go harder so I can deteriorate faster than I'm regenerating. Yes, okay.
You say this for years. 5, 6 years ago, I was saying the same thing. And so when I go to the gym, if that set wasn't beyond failure, it was an easy set. 1 rep in reserve?
Yeah.
That's my warm-up, guys. It's not hard. That is how I improve. And so how many sets of that do you think I need to do? Do you think I need to do 10 to 20 sets of that per week for optimum hypertrophy? Or do you think that would be overtraining? Well, studies say 10 to 20 sets. I was not in that study. And if I were, I would have been that outlier that would have lost strength, lost size. Everyone else, they're improving because most
You're on steroids. Why would you lose any of that?
people train like pussies in the gym. We saw Jeff Nippert for years, 1 to 3 reps in reserve. What did I say? I said he trained like a pussy and he didn't like it. And what happened? Eventually listened to Coach Greg and trained to failure each and every day. And what happened? He finally put on some
He trained to failure so he could absorb the glycogen. For every gram of glycogen, 3 grams of water drop between the skin and the muscle into the muscle so he could build the sarcoplasmic aesthetic fake look. Yes, okay.
muscle, 4 pounds
And honestly, the truth is he's on steroids, bro. He ordered steroids, says he's taking it, whatever.
in a year. After everyone thought he'd reach
He's an influencer. He has to look good. He has to fake it. If he does it, nobody is going to pay attention to him. Go look at natural lifters. Nobody watches them.
his natural genetic limit, he did it.
Fuck, I'm a natural lifter and I look good at my age, and nobody is going to watch my channel regardless. Get it? Because they want to watch people on steroids. Now, if I took steroids, it would definitely refine my physique. It would look way better, but that wouldn't be my physique. It would be something artificial you'd be looking at, like this goofball. See what I mean? But I find that a natural physique is better than any artificial physique because women aren't attracted to these artificial physiques because they know it's artificial. They want to see a guy with a natural physique. They're more attracted to you. Here's the thing. When I built my body, my muscle and everything, women were attracted to me because of my natural physique that I had. They were very attracted to me at the time. See what I mean? So, but if I took steroids, I know they wouldn't have been attracted to me because they're not attracted to people on steroids. They're not really attracted to them. They go, that looks cool or whatever or something, but they're really attracted to natural people.
Why? Because he was finally motivated to push harder than last time. That is what
But why? Because you failed, so you had to take steroids because you couldn't make it, so you've got to fake it to make it? This is crazy.
pros, that's what myself, that is what Sam Sulek, that is what we believe. We love pushing ourselves. And so for those of you who don't love to push yourself in the gym, you probably don't even like being in the gym. What's the shortest workout possible? The science-based way. Oh, you don't have to go to failure?
Yeah, here's the science-based way. Yes, here's the science-based way. Right there, see that? Here's people that don't like to go to the gym. Believe in life, friends. That's right. And then you got gregdoucette.
Guys, it's not hard. That is how I improve. And so how many sets of that do you think I need to do? Do you think I need to do 10 to 20 sets of that per week for optimum hypertrophy? Or do you think that would be overtraining? Well, studies say 10 to 20 sets. I was not in that study. And if I were, I would have been that outlier that would have lost strength, lost size. Everyone else, they're improving because most people train like pussies in the gym. We saw Jeff Nippert for years, 1 to 3 reps in reserve. What did I say? I said he trained like a pussy, and he didn't like it. And what happened? Eventually listened to Coach Greg and trained to failure each and every day. And what happened? He finally put on some muscle, 4 pounds in a year. After everyone thought he'd reach his natural genetic limit, he did it. Why? Because he was finally motivated to push harder than last time.
Sure he
That
was.
is what IPE pros, that's
Sure he was.
yourself in the gym. You probably decades
I mean, look at
decades of natty training. Name
this. Look at this. Look at this
if
shit.
you love it enough, you'll do it for life. How many people think
If you love it enough, you'll do it for life. Why do you have to do it for life, though? Why? It doesn't take life to build muscle.
training long enough and stay natural to reach their genetic limit? This guy,
Stay long enough to reach your genetic limit. So if you reached your genetic limit, why are you still there lifting? It doesn't make any sense. Why?
yeah, eventually I used steroids in my 30s. I started training
See, he reached his genetic limit. So what did he do? He took steroids because he was a performing slave. He went to perform. Are you people performing slaves? Oh my God.
at tennis, 20 years, over 2 decades of natty training. Name the influencer that's done that. At least I had a
2 decades of natty training. Did you see him there, natty, bro? And now look at him on steroids. He looked like he natty here 2 decades? I don't think so, dude. He lied to you.
reason. I couldn't make any more gains. I had tried.
Let's say for
I couldn't make any more gains. I tried to make gains out of thin air. I didn't eat. I was thinking that the weights built muscles, but they didn't. So I took steroids. And all of a sudden, I blew up because it drew all this water in my muscles and created fake muscles. Okay.
some reason I was raised in captivity, and I read a book that was like How to Act Normal. As much as I could read it, it would never translate to actually being a regular guy.
And so
Act normal. Ha. You think he'd act normal? He's acting abnormal. All these people are abnormal what they're doing. Taking steroids and fucking lifting, doing all this weird shit.
imagine you read a book on how to drive effectively, science-based driving, science-based picking up a girl.
Okay.
And you're studying it in that book and you've got it perfected. And you go out in the real world, you really think that's going to work? You need to try, test things out and see what works best.
Sure.
Hair, is that a wig? Oh, what pretty nails, are those acrylics? There's certain techniques, moves, if you will, that you can use to pick up girls. And on average, it's going to be effective.
You don't need moves. What you need is attractiveness. You don't have to pick up girls. They'll come to you. They'll come and talk to you. Now, if they don't come and talk to you, then, but you can choose the ones that you want to talk to as well.
But you know what's the most effective? Being yourself. And that's
And
if you
make yourself unattractive, women are not going to be attracted to you. Just put it that way.
want to get a girl to like you for the rest of your life. If you're just looking for a one-night stand, I'm very polarized. You like me or you hate me. We see it in the comments section. But at least it's me. I'm not going to be some wishy-washy, lukewarm bullshit of a person. I'm going to tell you exactly what I think. And if you maybe someday they'll like you. You want a girl that likes you from day one. And if they don't like you from day one, find someone else who will. There's going to be someone. And if there's no one, then get a friggin' proper tan, go to the gym, dress nicer,
Eat good and become attractive. Forget this stuff, bro. I know. Terkestrol, right? Right?
Coach Greg supplements, code Greg 15
Oh, brother. Whatever.
bell curls with 10-pound weights like Mike Israetel or train like Jeff Nippard. We still make some gains, and here's why. We go hard. I don't care
They got pumpkin heads, I told you.
if you're ego lifting, you're just
A lot of the idea behind it, and it's kind of its own subculture, is it's very like it's a weird elitism.
And so here's the thing. I'm one of those older guys. I've also used steroids. I've also trained natural. I've also got an education. And so I do a little bit of both. When some science-based
Got a man-made education. Okay, man-made education, all right.
explanation or training comes into style, I'm thinking,
It's not naturally made education. It's not natural education. It's man-made education he got. The best kind of education I discovered was natural education. When I naturally educated myself naturally, that was the best education because that's what taught me what built muscle and why I should do the things that I'm doing. Everything naturally is much better than than this man-made education. Trust me. I've learned a lot doing things naturally than I would ever learn from man-made education. Yes, because when they educate you, man, be careful with that food pyramid and, go to work and all this kind of weird stuff. Whatever. They want you to slave yourself to death and become a mummy. You don't want to become a mummy.
What? I'm going to give that a try and see if it fits into my repertoire of exercises or my feelings.
But that will be the outcome. If you get man-made educated, you're going to look like the mummy.
On how to train. And if it does, I'm going to then continue to use it. But if it's 10-pound incline dumbbell curls, well, I'm just going to throw that out the window. And so just because you're older versus younger, I don't think you should use science-based training or not use it. I think we can do a little bit of both.
Like the idea that they're following is, if I'm not perfect, then there's no point. I want to know it's going to work.
And so Sam brings up a great point. People want to know that what they're doing is going to give them said results. They see incredible transformations like Hussein Farhat, and they believe it had to have been steroids, it had to have been a polymorphism. It can't just be great genetics. I mean, after all, how do you put all that muscle on doing broomstick handle chin-ups? What people don't understand is the difference between training perfectly. I'm talking about the best form in the world, the best form ever. Better than mine, better than Jeff, better than Mike. You take that person with perfect technique, and you take the other person, and they don't even train properly, but they train hard. And you take the other person
with perfect technique, okay,
and they don't even train properly, but they train hard. They're cheating their reps. They may not be doing
okay. What about that?
It quite effectively. They aren't doing the long length partials. Maybe they're not even going all the way down. All things being equal, both equal genetics, the person who's training hard beats the person with perfect technique every single time.
That's false. People that work hard and people that work smart, it's the people that work smart that always outpace the people that work hard. It's not about working hard. It's about working smart. Gyms you don't build muscles in gyms. So working hard is not going to get you anywhere. That's why the majority of all you lifters, you're like, I gotta go like these guys, 7 days a week lifting. Yeah, you think that weights lifted? You think weights built these fake, phony influencers? These goofs right here, these goofballs? You're crazy, man. All of you people are out of your mind. All of you. Whatever, man. It's bullshit.
And so when you see a guy, perhaps it's Hussein, perhaps it's Julian.
Julian doesn't even know how to lift properly to damage muscle. He's stupid.
And you're thinking, they didn't train effectively when they first started, and so how do they have better games than me? Based on science.
Easy, they faked it to make it, that's how.
Space lifting, that's impossible. And so they must have cheated. They must be on SARMs, steroids, they must be lying. Well, we all know that Hussein was natural after all, passed the lie detector test even, 4 consecutive blood works. But even to this day, people still think Hussein's a fake.
Because he is. He faked it.
Natty. And that's because they think, well, if you don't train perfectly, then you can't make all those gains. And since they train perfectly...
I don't see a lot of gains on him. What I see is cosmetic look. He has a very anabolic or steroid cosmetic look. I don't see... He's not massive.
And they didn't make all those gains,
Whatever.
Then others who make double or triple their gains, well, that is impossible. But it's more like school than...
Anybody could gain because they're bulking, right? But that doesn't make them look aesthetic.
You think. Sometimes you go to school and you don't study...
It doesn't give them that steroid cosmetic look.
At all, and you get 100 on the test, while your friend, they studied harder than last time and they still failed. There's different genetics for intelligence in the same way that there's different genetics for putting on size.
What? That is fake, man. He's just making all this shit up.
Some are blessed to put on size, some are blessed to get hundreds on tests, but
some are blessed to put on size, some are blessed to put on tests. You're not blessed. You have to be doing something to put it on.
You don't see everyone who gets 100 being accused of cheating on their math tests, but yet in the body.
I don't know. What if those kids are only eating meat products, raw meat products? Their family's feeding them well. But you're eating slave food diet. How are you going to do on a test? You're going to do good or not? Think about it. You're eating slave food diet, and here's this guy eating like animal products, right? The best food. Who's going to do better on the test? The slave food diet or the animal-based person? Animal-based, kind of obvious. So the people that are lifting in the gym, if you're in negative nitrogen balance all the time, and that guy is in positive nitrogen balance, who's going to make the most gains? See what I mean? Or if it's sarcoplasmic and he's eating more carbs than you are, pumping it, who's going to make more gains? You or him?
Building world, that is exactly what's
Or if you're eating slave food diets and he's eating protein, he's positive nitrogen balance, who's going to make more gains?
happening. It's people trying to cope.
Okay, this is actually the solution.
People trying to cope.
Because this is perfect and this will work. It's a snake oil of an idea. Instead
This is perfect and this will work. Everything works in the beginning and then it stops working. Why?
of a product.
Did I just hear snake oil? A lot of people think that
Due to an adaptation process, that's why.
this is snake oil, Turk Builder Max and Turk Platinum. But remember, you haven't watched the videos where we've proven with receipts, third-party testing multiple times, and they compared this to our competition. For example,
Oh, whatever. I'm done with this shit, man.
it's most likely
This marketing or what?
research and development we put
It's all marketing, dude.
telephone entry system.
It's bullshit. It's all marketing. I'll see you in the next video, friends.